Liam tightened the strap of his small carry bag and looked around the crowded spaceport cafe. The hum of anti-gravity machines mingled with the chatter of humans and aliens, creating a strange, lively atmosphere. Holographic menus floated above the tables, displaying drinks that shimmered like liquid stars. It was not a place he had ever imagined coming to for a date, let alone a blind date arranged by an AI matchmaking service. He checked the small holographic note again. Table 7. Near the window. He took a deep breath. Blind dates were supposed to be fun. Right? Maybe. His palms itched nervously as he walked through the tables, each occupied by patrons in flowing robes or metallic suits, sipping colorful drinks or discussing business in languages he could barely understand. Liam didn't notice that he had missed table 7. He didn't notice that he had chosen a table at the far end of the cafe, which, unbeknownst to him, belonged to an important human diplomat, Arya. She was sitting alone, scrolling through a tablet, her expression weary and tense. Negotiations with alien governments could be exhausting, and today had been a long one. Arya was hoping for a quiet cup of synth coffee to calm herself before heading back to her quarters. Liam slid into the chair across from her, not realizing his mistake. "Hi," he said, smiling nervously. "I think I'm supposed to sit here?" Arya looked up from her tablet, surprised. She blinked, expecting a formal greeting from an aide or assistant. Instead, she saw a slightly awkward human, with sandy hair and bright, honest eyes. I'm sorry. I think there's been a mistake," she said cautiously, putting down her tablet. "No. I think I'm on a blind date," Liam said. "Well, maybe. That's what my AI said. Table 7. Window. It's probably not your table?" He shrugged, cheeks tinged with red. Arya's lips twitched. She had been staring at negotiations, alien protocols, and diplomatic messages for hours. The last thing she expected was someone so casual and human, stumbling into her quiet moment. I'm Arya," she said, holding out her hand. "I think you're sitting at the wrong table, but..." "Hi." Liam shook her hand. "I'm Liam, and, I guess I am. But it's okay. I don't mind." He smiled sheepishly, and Arya noticed something unusual. It wasn't a nervous or forced smile, but one that seemed genuine. In a cafe full of protocol and politics, it was refreshingly human. For a moment, they just looked at each other. Around them, holographic menus flickered, weight drones floated past carrying drinks, and alien patrons discussed complex trade agreements. Yet in that small bubble of the cafe, everything else seemed to fade. "So," Liam said, breaking the silence, "are you a diplomat?" He tilted his head, trying to sound casual but failing a little. Arya raised an eyebrow. "How did you know? Honestly?" Liam leaned back in his chair. "You just look like someone who deals with serious stuff. There's a way you carry yourself, like you've had a long day of important things." He waved vaguely at the cafe around them. "And judging by your expression, I guessed right." Arya blinked. She was not used to people reading her so openly or so kindly. Most humans either fawned over her position or avoided eye contact. Liam's words were simple, unassuming, but they carried truth. She felt a strange warmth in her chest. "You're perceptive for a stranger," she said softly. Liam grinned, embarrassed. "Or maybe I'm just lucky. I didn't mean to sit here, but I'm glad I did." Arya's lips curved into a small smile. "This is unusual," she admitted. "For the past few years, most of my days have been filled with schedules, protocols, and endless reports. It's rare to have someone just talk to me like a human, not a diplomat." Liam leaned forward slightly, interested. I get that. My job? Well, I fix things. Machines, systems, robots, you name it. It's repetitive. And I don't usually meet people like this. So maybe we're both lucky. They both laughed softly, the tension easing from the air. Around them, a group of alien delegates continued their serious discussion. But Liam and Arya were in a small bubble of humanity amidst the alien hubbub. The cafe lights reflected in Liam's eyes, and Arya noticed how natural he seemed, how unlike the people she met in her work. He didn't carry pretense or authority. He just was. So, Liam said, do you come here often? He immediately regretted the cliché question. But Arya laughed instead of rolling her eyes. Not really, she said. Mostly when I need a break from work. Today, I thought a quiet cup of coffee would help me decompress. But I guess fate had other plans. Fate's been kind to both of us then, Liam said, smiling warmly. I mean, I was supposed to be nervous, sweating over a blind date, and instead well, I'm sitting across from someone who seems amazing. And she's smiling. Arya felt a flicker of emotion she hadn't experienced in a long time. It was strange, almost shocking, to feel so relaxed with someone she barely knew. This is the best moment I've had in years, she admitted, softly. Liam blinked, surprised. Really? Really, she said, smiling more openly now. I've been surrounded by rules, negotiations, and responsibilities for so long. It's nice to just be. The cafe around them continued its normal chaos, but Liam and Arya barely noticed. They talked about small things, first favorite foods, Earth traditions, and strange alien customs they had witnessed. Liam described the way humans on Earth danced at festivals, and Arya shared memories of quiet moments watching Earth's oceans from spaceports. As they shared stories, Arya realized how different Liam was from the humans she usually interacted with in diplomatic circles. He wasn't trying to impress anyone, didn't carry the weight of responsibilities, and yet, he had an honesty and warmth that made her feel lighter. A sudden jolt shook the cafe. A minor glitch in the anti-gravity system caused some floating objects to drift toward the ceiling. Patrons gasped, and weight drones zipped around to stabilize the situation. Liam reacted quickly, grabbing a small stabilizer panel from a nearby table and fixing the imbalance. Arya helped by coordinating the drones, giving directions calmly. Wow, Arya said once everything settled, a bit impressed. I didn't expect human ingenuity to solve this so quickly. Liam shrugged. We do what we can. It's kind of fun. Arya laughed again. Fun. That's something I forgot existed. They finished their drinks, still talking and laughing. The cafe's holographic lights reflected on Liam's face, making his expression almost glowing. Arya realized she hadn't felt this connected to anyone in years, not in meetings, not in casual conversations, not even in her own quarters. When it was time to leave, Liam stood awkwardly. So, would you maybe like to meet again? Arya smiled, a genuine, relaxed smile. I'd like that, she said. And maybe next time, we can choose the right table. Or maybe we don't choose tables at all, Liam said, grinning. Arya laughed, feeling lighter than she had in years. As they walked out of the cafe together, she thought about how a simple mistake, a wrong seat, at a wrong table, had led to one of the most unexpected and human moments of her life. And in that moment, both of them felt something they hadn't felt in a long time. That being human, messy, awkward, curious, and kind was enough to make the galaxy a little brighter. The cool Martian evening stretched across the spaceport as Liam and Arya walked side by side, their conversation flowing more naturally than either expected. The hum of hover vehicles and distant chatter of travelers created a strange comfort. A backdrop that made the galaxy feel just a little smaller. A little more human. So, Liam said, tell me something that's not work-related. Something no one at the embassy would care about. Arya chuckled softly, glancing at him. Something no one at the embassy would care about. I suppose. I really enjoy Earth's old music. You know, vinyl records, classic rock and jazz. I try to listen whenever I can. Really? Liam's eyes lit up. I didn't know diplomats could like music. I thought you were all serious, buttoned up, with no time for fun. Mostly, yes, Arya admitted. But when you're surrounded by protocols and reports all the time, you cling to little things that remind you you're alive. Music, smells, the way sunlight looks on water. Small things. That's my escape. Liam nodded. I get that. I'm an engineer. I work with machines, circuits, and computers all day. It's satisfying, sure, but it doesn't always feel human, if you know what I mean. Arya smiled, intrigued. Human? Yes, Liam said. Machines obey rules. Systems work if you follow instructions. Humans surprise you. Humans laugh when they shouldn't, cry when they want to, and do crazy things just because they feel like it. That's human. Arya paused, reflecting. Diplomacy often required perfection, patience, and restraint. Humanity was messy, emotional, and unpredictable. But maybe that was why it was beautiful. You're right, she said softly. We do surprise people. Maybe that's our strength. They reached a small observation deck overlooking the Mars cityscape, glowing softly under the twin moons. Liam gestured toward the horizon. See that? All of that? Humans built it. Every light, every dome, every little detail. And we did it despite all the rules, the limits, the challenges. We're adaptable, creative, and sometimes stubborn. That's human, too. Arya followed his gaze, feeling a warmth in her chest. She had seen the city from above many times, but Liam's words made her see it differently. I suppose we are, she said. And yet, we often doubt ourselves. We doubt that our little lives matter in a galaxy this vast. But they do, Liam said firmly. Every small act matters. Every connection matters. Even sitting at the wrong table can, I don't know, change your life. He smiled sheepishly. Arya laughed softly. You're right about that. I never expected a blind date to turn into something like this. And yet, it has. Versented. 44. Class 100 body. And crosseted. And well-scented. And well-scented. And it no. They stood in comfortable silence for a moment, watching the glowing Martian domes below. The city was alive, full of activity. Yet up here, they felt alone, together alone, in a way that was peaceful, not lonely. So, Arya said after a while, what's the strangest job you've ever had as an engineer? Liam grinned. Oh, that's easy. I was once hired to fix a malfunctioning entertainment robot on a luxury starliner. It was supposed to dance, sing, and interact with guests. Instead, it kept chasing the passengers and throwing drinks everywhere. I had to reprogram it in zero gravity while trying not to get hit by flying cocktails. Arya laughed, genuinely amused. I can imagine. That sounds chaotic. But very human, too. Exactly, Liam said. Humans make chaos look fun. Machines? Not so much. Arya smiled, enjoying the way Liam described simple things with humor and warmth. She realized she had been missing this kind of connection, someone who could make her laugh without expecting anything in return. Someone who didn't care about her title, her position, or the rules she lived by every day. So, she said thoughtfully, Why do you think humans are so persistent? So willing to take risks, even when the odds are against us? Liam paused, thinking. Maybe because we feel. We hope. We want more than survival. Machines just follow instructions. Aliens, some follow logic perfectly, some follow instincts. Humans, we dream. We love. We screw up and try again. I think that's why we keep going, even when it's hard. Arya felt a lump in her throat. His words were simple, yet they carried truth. Diplomacy often felt like a constant battle against logic, politics, and procedure. Yet here was someone reminding her that persistence, hope, and connection were just as powerful as treaties and agreements. I like that, she said softly. We dream, and maybe that's enough to make a difference. Liam smiled. It's more than enough. They walked along the observation deck, pointing out ships docking and departing. Arya found herself asking questions about Liam's work, his life on Earth, and the things that made him laugh. Liam, in turn, was fascinated by her stories of diplomacy, interstellar politics, and the challenges of maintaining peace across species. I've never met anyone like you, Arya admitted quietly. Most people either admire what I do or avoid me because of it. But you just talk to me. Like I'm a person, not a position. That's because you are a person, Liam said gently. Not just a diplomat. You're someone who has feelings, dreams, fears, just like me. And I think that matters more than any title. Arya's heart warmed. She hadn't felt this understood in years. Diplomacy required her to hide emotions, control reactions, and maintain composure. Yet Liam made it easy to breathe, to be herself, to forget for a moment that she carried the weight of interstellar negotiations on her shoulders. Do you ever get tired of everything? She asked, looking down at the city lights. The rules, the schedules, the constant pressure? All the time, Liam admitted. But then moments like this happen. Small connections, unexpected laughter. And it reminds me why humans are worth it. Why our lives are worth it. All the time. All the time. Arya looked at him, a soft smile on her face. I think I understand. I've been so focused on responsibilities that I forgot. Humans, our lives. Our moments, they can be extraordinary, even in small ways. They walked back toward the cafe, the hum of hover vehicles and distant chatter still around them, but they felt removed from it all. They were two humans in a galaxy of stars and aliens, finding a moment of understanding, laughter, and warmth. As they approached the cafe exit, Liam hesitated. You know, this could be the start of something. Or it could just be a moment. But I hope it's more than a moment. Arya smiled, her eyes reflecting the city lights. I hope so too, she said softly. Moments like this, they don't come often. I want to see where it goes. They paused, a gentle silence between them, neither wanting to break it with unnecessary words. It was rare to find someone who understood without asking for explanations, who connected without forcing it. Inside the cafe, the wait drones buzzed past, serving drinks to alien delegates and human travelers alike. Liam and Arya found a quiet corner and sat down again, enjoying the simple comfort of conversation. They shared stories about Earth, about childhood dreams, about things that made them laugh until their stomachs hurt. Arya realized that in Liam's presence, she didn't have to be perfect. She didn't have to hide her emotions or maintain a diplomatic mask. She could simply be human. And that was a relief. Liam noticed the change in her too. Her eyes sparkled when she laughed, her posture relaxed, her expressions honest. It was rare to see someone shed years of stress in a matter of hours. and he felt honored that he could be part of that change, even in a small way. By the time they finally left the cafe for the night, the stars above Mars shone brightly, painting the sky with a soft, infinite glow. Liam offered Arya his arm, and she accepted it without hesitation. "Good night, Liam," she said, her smile warm and genuine. "Good night, Arya," he replied, "and thank you for letting me sit at your table by mistake." Arya laughed softly. "Sometimes mistakes lead to the best moments," she said. They parted ways, both feeling something they hadn't felt in years: hope, excitement, and the possibility that the universe could surprise them in ways they never expected. And as Liam walked back to his quarters, he thought to himself, sometimes the galaxy wasn't so big after all. Sometimes one wrong table, one unexpected smile, could make the universe feel just right. The next evening, the Spaceport Cafe was even busier than before. Holo ads flickered across the walls, weight drones hovered between tables, and the soft hum of anti-gravity systems filled the air. Liam and Arya arrived together, both excited and curious to see each other again. "Good to see you," Liam said, grinning. "I promise not to sit at the wrong table this time." Arya laughed softly. "I'll try to keep track, but I admit, part of me wonders if fate enjoys surprises too much." They found a corner table by the observation window, giving them a view of the red Martian plains and the distant city lights. It was quieter than the center of the cafe, but still alive, with activity, a perfect balance of energy and calm. They ordered drinks and began to share stories from their day. Liam described a mechanical issue he had solved on a cargo freighter, while Arya recounted a particularly difficult negotiation with an alien species whose culture prized silence over discussion. "I swear, some of these aliens have never heard of small talk," Arya said, laughing. "It's like negotiating with statues." Liam chuckled. "I get it. Machines are easier, they don't talk back. But aliens? That's an adventure." Suddenly, the cafe's anti-gravity system flickered. A low hum escalated into a high-pitched whine, and a table near the center of the cafe lifted slightly off the ground. Patrons gasped, and floating cups and utensils began drifting toward the ceiling. A group of alien delegates froze, unsure how to react. "Not again," a human staff member muttered, running to stabilize the system with a handheld control panel. Arya's eyes widened. "That looks dangerous." Liam leaned forward, scanning the room. "I think I can help." "Are you sure?" Arya asked. "It could be risky." "I fix machines for a living," Liam said calmly. "And this is just a small system glitch. Nothing I can't handle." Quote. He stood up and stepped toward the floating table, careful to avoid the drifting utensils. Arya followed instinctively, moving to help coordinate the staff and patrons. "Everyone stay calm," she instructed, her voice steady. "Clear the center. Keep away from the floating objects. Staff, help secure the drinks and trays." Liam accessed the cafe's maintenance console using a compact interface he carried in his bag. The anti-gravity system had a minor software malfunction combined with a sensor error. It was simple for a human engineer to diagnose, though in the chaos of the cafe, it could have caused a serious accident. "Okay," Liam said, adjusting some controls. "I just need to reset the main stabilizers, then reroute the power temporarily to the secondary systems. That should stop the floating tables and utensils." Arya nodded. "I'll guide the drones to help you. Keep patrons safe. And don't worry about anyone else." With her calm voice directing the floating drones and staff, and Liam's quick hands on the controls, they worked together. Drinks and plates were secured, hovering tables stabilized, and the hum of malfunctioning anti-gravity slowly faded into silence. By the time the last floating cup settled back onto a tray, the cafe erupted in applause. Aliens and humans alike watched in awe. The two humans had solved the crisis without panic, without chaos. Their teamwork, Creativity and calmness impressed everyone. Arya smiled at Liam. You make it look easy. It is easy if you know what you're doing, Liam said, grinning. Mostly. The tricky part is not hitting anyone with floating utensils. Arya laughed. Well, you did more than fix a machine. You reminded everyone here why humans are humans. Creative, adaptable, capable of thinking on their feet. Liam's grin softened. We're stubborn too. Can't help it. They returned to their table, both catching their breath from the excitement. Around them, the cafe slowly returned to normal. Patrons resumed their conversations, the weight drones floated calmly, and the alien delegates whispered to each other, probably discussing the humans' ingenuity. You know, Arya said, sipping her drink, I've seen humans in a lot of situations, but seeing you handle that, it's different. It's inspiring. Liam shook his head. Not inspiring, just necessary. Someone had to fix it before someone got hurt. Humans just, we figure things out. We adapt. That's our thing. Arya thought about that. Humans were often underestimated by other species. Logic-driven aliens and perfectly programmed robots sometimes dismissed humans as chaotic, emotional, and unpredictable. Yet here was proof. When needed, humans could solve problems quickly, creatively, and effectively. Yes, she said softly. That's exactly why we're valuable. Even in a galaxy full of aliens and machines, humans have something unique, something worth noticing. Liam smiled, humbled by her words. Arya laughed. Exactly. Humanity. At its best. They fell into conversation again, but this time the topics shifted from stories to dreams. Liam spoke about the projects he hoped to one day build machines to explore uncharted planets. Tools to help humans live sustainably across the stars. Arya shared her hopes for peace. For a galaxy where species understood each other without constant conflict. You know, Liam said, looking out at the Martian city, humans have a weird way of surviving. We build, we fix, we dream. Even when things seem impossible, we find a way. I think that's why moments like tonight happen. Because humans try. Why? Arya nodded. And sometimes, just sometimes, those attempts make life brighter. For everyone. Liam laughed. Even aliens? Especially aliens, Arya said with a grin. The conversation lingered, natural and unforced. Liam and Arya had begun to understand each other in ways few people ever could. She admired his calmness under pressure, his humor, and the way he could make even chaos feel manageable. He admired her intelligence, her leadership, and the warmth beneath her disciplined exterior. As the cafe lights dimmed, signaling closing time, Liam and Arya stood together. I can't believe a malfunction turned into this, Liam said, gesturing around the restored cafe. Arya smiled. Sometimes, crises show us who we really are. And humans, we shine brightest when we have to. Yeah, Liam agreed. Even if it's just a little shine. They walked to the observation deck once more, looking out at the red Martian plains under the soft glow of the moons. The city below seemed calmer after the chaos. Lights twinkling like stars mirrored on the planet's surface. Do you ever think about why humans matter in the galaxy? Arya asked quietly. All the time, Liam said. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We argue. We fail. But we also laugh. We create, we help each other, and sometimes, we save the day. Arya looked at him, genuinely moved. I think, I'm beginning to see it. Humanity's value isn't just in strength or logic, it's in heart, in creativity, in the ability to connect, even in moments of crisis. Liam nodded. Exactly. And it's moments like this that remind us that we're capable of more than we realize. For the first time in years, Arya felt a deep sense of hope not just for herself, but for humanity as a whole. She realized that humans, despite their flaws, were extraordinary in ways other species could never fully replicate. Their ingenuity, their empathy, and their persistence were qualities that mattered, even on a galactic scale. "I'm glad I sat at the wrong table," she said softly, looking at Liam. He laughed. "Me too. And I'm glad the universe decided to throw a little chaos our way tonight." They stood together, side by side, as the stars over Mars seemed to glow brighter. The minor crisis in the cafe had not just tested their skills, it had strengthened their connection, showcased human creativity, and reminded them both of why humanity mattered. And in that quiet moment, amidst the vastness of space and the complexity of the galaxy, Liam and Arya understood something important. Humans, with all their messiness and brilliance, could shine brightest when it mattered most. The morning sun cast a soft red glow over Mars as Liam walked toward the spaceport cafe. The city below gleamed in the light, and the twin moons were still faintly visible, like distant silver lanterns in the sky. He adjusted his bag over his shoulder and took a deep breath. Today wasn't just another casual visit. He had promised Arya they would explore something different, away from busy cafes and negotiations. Arya was already there, standing by the observation deck, her gaze fixed on the horizon. She turned when she heard him approach, and her face lit up with a warm smile. "Morning, Liam," she said, her voice carrying a rare softness. "Morning, Arya," he replied, smiling back. "Ready for an adventure?" Arya laughed lightly. "I suppose I am. Where are we going?" "You'll see," Liam said mysteriously, leading her away from the cafe. They walked through the bustling corridors of the spaceport, past docking stations where sleek starships glinted in the sunlight. Humans and aliens passed by in a blur, but Liam and Arya felt a bubble of quiet around them. Finally, they reached a small shuttle waiting at a quiet landing pad. Liam gestured for Arya to step inside. "Trust me," he said. "This will be something you'll remember." Arya hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "I trust you." The shuttle lifted smoothly off the landing pad and ascended into the thin Martian atmosphere. Below them, the city shrank into a network of lights and domes, while above, the sky stretched infinitely, dotted with stars and distant planets. "This is beautiful," Arya said softly, leaning against the window. "I've seen Mars from above before, but it never feels like this." "Humans have a way of appreciating small things," Liam said. "Even in a galaxy full of wonders, we notice the details, the way light hits the dunes, the shapes of clouds, the way stars reflect on a metal hull." Arya smiled, feeling a rare sense of peace. The past few years had been exhausting negotiations, alien protocols, endless responsibilities. But here, with Liam, the weight of her role seemed to fade. She realized how refreshing it was to experience life simply, without masks or pretense. The shuttle left the atmosphere and entered orbit. Liam guided them toward a small, uninhabited moon nearby, a place he had discovered during his work with planetary engineers. The moon was rugged, dotted with craters, and untouched by humans. "This is incredible," Arya whispered, as the shuttle landed gently on the moon's surface. The ground was covered with fine dust, and the faint glow of Mars illuminated the horizon. Liam stepped out first, helping Arya with her boots. "I thought it would be nice to see something untouched," he said. "No crowds, no protocols. Just space and us." Arya took a deep breath, inhaling the crisp, alien air. "It feels alive," she said. "And quiet. I didn't know quiet could feel so powerful." They walked together toward a ridge overlooking a valley carved by ancient geological activity. Liam pointed toward a small cluster of glowing crystals embedded in the rocks. Those are rare mineral formations, he explained. They capture sunlight and store it, glowing faintly at night. Humans haven't even studied them fully yet. Arya knelt to examine them, running her fingers lightly over the smooth surfaces. They're beautiful and delicate. Humans discovering something like this, it makes me think how small we are. And yet, how much we can do. Exactly, Liam said, smiling. We're small in the galaxy, but our curiosity, creativity, and courage, those are huge. They make a difference. Arya looked at him, noticing the quiet pride in his eyes. It wasn't arrogance. It was simple human confidence in doing the right thing, in exploring, in caring. You make humanity sound magical, she said softly. Liam chuckled. Maybe it is. Sometimes. Especially when humans help each other, or take risks for something bigger than themselves. They sat on the ridge together, watching the glowing crystals and the soft light reflecting from Mars. Arya shared more about her dreams, what peace might look like in the galaxy, how humans could build bridges with other species, and how small acts of kindness might ripple across worlds. Liam shared his hopes for engineering projects that could improve life on Mars and other planets, building technology that was sustainable, safe, and creative. As they talked, Arya realized that Liam's vision of the future wasn't just about machines or stars, it was about humanity. About humans shaping their destiny, solving problems, and caring for one another. You know, she said after a while, the galaxy often feels too big, too vast for one person to matter. But you make it feel like humans do matter, that our small actions can be significant. That's the truth, Liam said. Even small moments like sitting at the wrong table or fixing a floating table in a cafe can change everything. And humans, we create moments like that all the time, without even realizing it. Arya smiled, thinking about their first meeting. What started as an accidental encounter had turned into something extraordinary. Laughter, connection, and a shared understanding of humanity's worth. I think, I understand now, she said quietly. Humans shine brightest when they care, when they create, when they risk themselves for others. And, sometimes, they shine just by being themselves. Liam reached over and gently touched her hand. You're right. And you've been shining too, without realizing it. You've shown me how humans can inspire, even when they're tired or stressed. That's humanity at its best. Arya felt warmth spread through her chest. She hadn't allowed herself to feel this connected in years, not with diplomats, not with colleagues, not even with friends. And now, she realized, Liam had reminded her why humans were extraordinary. They spent the rest of the day exploring the moon, discovering small caves, unusual rock formations, and hidden valleys. Liam used his engineering tools to measure mineral densities, while Arya observed the patterns of light on the surface, sketching mental notes for future diplomatic reports. See that crater? Liam said, pointing. We could set up a small habitat there in the future. Solar panels, research stations, even a small community. Humans could live here. Arya laughed softly. You really think about everything, don't you? I have to, Liam said. Humans survive by planning, but we also survive by improvising, adapting, and caring. And that's what makes us special. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the moon's surface glowed softly under Mars's reflection. Liam and Arya sat together, watching the changing colors. The quiet beauty of the moment reminded them that humanity's uniqueness was not just in technology or strength, it was in heart, creativity, and connection. You know, Arya said softly, I've spent so long thinking about the galaxy as a place of rules, treaties, and politics. But now, I see it differently. Humans can make it brighter, better, more. Liam smiled, squeezing her hand gently. Exactly. And sometimes, the galaxy needs moments like this. Reminders that humans are worth noticing, worth celebrating, worth following. Arya turned to him, her eyes reflecting the Martian glow. Thank you, Liam, for showing me everything I forgot about being human. And thank you, Arya, Liam replied, for reminding me that humans aren't just survivors. They're creators, problem solvers, dreamers, and that we're capable of amazing things together. As they prepared to leave the moon, they felt a quiet sense of hope. The galaxy was vast, unpredictable, and sometimes challenging. But humanity, messy, stubborn, inventive, and caring, had the power to shine. Even in the darkest corners of space, the shuttle lifted off gently, leaving the glowing moon behind. Liam and Arya sat side by side, watching Mars shrink beneath them. And for the first time, they didn't feel small. They felt human, capable, alive. When they returned to the spaceport, Arya turned to Liam. Do you think humans really can make a difference? I know we can, Liam said firmly. And moments like today, they prove it. One smile, one action, one connection at a time. Arya smiled, holding his hand. Then let's make more of those moments. Together. And as they walked back through the bustling corridors, surrounded by humans and aliens, lights and hums, they carried with them a quiet truth. Humanity, in all its creativity, courage, and warmth, could shine brighter than any star in the galaxy. Even a simple mistake sitting at the wrong table could change everything. For Liam and Arya, that mistake had led to laughter, discovery, and a shared understanding of what it truly meant to be human. And in the vast, endless galaxy, that was enough to make the universe a little brighter.